Have you heard the one about the senator who died and then went to meet St. Peter at the pearly gates? St. Peter welcomed the senator. Said, "Senator, we have some new rules. You're going to spend 24 hours in heaven and then 24 hours in hell, and then you're going to let me know where you want to spend all of eternity." And the senator said, "St. Peter, I'm pretty certain I want to be in heaven forever." St. Peter says, "Please, Senator, just abide by our rules, okay?" He said, "Oh, sure, sorry." So they get in the elevator, they go up to heaven. Doors open, and it is glorious. So Almighty God, Father, Son, and Spirit, all His glory, majesty, and all the angels and saints, so peaceful and happy, 24 hours, and He spends beyond anything He can imagine. So then St. Peter meets with him the next day, go down the elevator, down to hell. Doors of the elevator open up, and it is beautiful. Everything is so nice. People are dressed to the nines, the nicest food, the nicest drink. Everything smells great. It looks amazing. It's like a really classy, beautiful party for 24 hours. So the next day, he gets back in the elevator, meets up with St. Peter. St. Peter says, "Okay, what's your choice?" And the senator says, "I never thought I'd say this, but I think I want to go to hell." And St. Peter says, "Okay." So they get in the elevator, down, doors of the elevator open up the next day, and the place is a dump. I mean, people are in rags. It just smells awful. It's just terrible. And he sees the devil. The senator walks over to the devil and says, "Well, what happened? Yesterday this place was so beautiful, and today it's just awful." The devil put his arm around him and said, "Yesterday we were campaigning. Today you voted." So every day is election day for us. That good angel on the one shoulder, the bad angel on the other, that's real. They're campaigning, we cast the vote. Every day, throughout the day, morally speaking. And the church can help us, certainly with strength from the grace of Christ, but also with the wisdom of the church. If you notice in the first reading, wisdom is referred to in the feminine as the spouse of God, who's always been united with God from all eternity. The church is also referenced in the feminine and the bride of Christ. So united with Him as with a spouse. So there's wisdom and the church together. The church has the wisdom of God, is the bearer of wisdom of God. And when Christ founded the church, He sent the Spirit of wisdom on the apostles, the first bishops. And that's why we follow the teachings of the Pope and bishops, because of the wisdom that comes from God through the church. We certainly follow the wisdom of the church with matters of faith, like with the Eucharist. But we should also follow the teachings and the wisdom of the church with moral teachings, moral issues. And that's what's presented to you in this booklet I want you to take with you as you leave today from the U.S. bishops about the upcoming election. Now, first point, the bishops say, we don't vote according to party or personality, we vote according to principles. Like moral principles. That again, the church has this moral authority, this wisdom, to address the issues. I find it very helpful. I've used this every year, every election homily, and referring to the wisdom going through the issues. The bishops say not all the issues have the same moral weight. Some are intrinsically evil, means they're always wrong, inherently wrong, like abortion and euthanasia. We can't support them intentionally. And that the right to life is preeminent. Without the right to life, there are no other rights. So every year, before an election, every 4 years I should say, I make the same presentation, offer the same document. Well, 12 years ago at GW, a grad student, a female grad student who I didn't know, she responded to what I said, what the bishops wrote, with a really long, fiery email. Who are you all to talk about life and abortion? And the longer it went, the more personal it got from her end. So I started thinking, there's something there. And I was thinking about it and praying about it the next day. Before I could respond, she showed up at the Newman Center door. She wanted to talk. I said, yeah, let's sit down. And she apologized for how fiery and aggressive it was, but then explained the personal part for her was when she was very young, that her family members forced her to abort her own baby. And she had been carrying the weight of that all those years. And that's what came out of that email. And I just took it, and I received it from her. She was lashing out to God and to the church, and I just received it. And in that 2-hour conversation, she received so much healing and peace and forgiveness and reconciliation with God for whatever part she had. She was forced into this. It's not always a choice. And she experienced the mercy of God through the church. So our church, which is about justice, just laws, is also about mercy. And when people, you all know this, whatever choices you make, if you make the wrong choice, you can always come to the church for mercy. But we do fight for and defend justice and just laws. If you notice in the commandments, in this passage, Jesus lists the fifth commandment first. Thou shalt not kill. That is the one commandment that society actually still follows, except in certain stages of life. But we cannot support intentionally direct offenses against the fifth commandment, especially when it's almost 1,000,000 times a year.